Abofwe yedie na bayo yedie na bay epeste fertilizer booster eye purely organic efrasa asimu ene de massas no obo ade ensa no pe na menu akayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya ade aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya soso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye decoration kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa e de afra na de ma epeste eda nso kra ne se enema no wadua na ewuo na flowers ne aduaba na etiti guo no agya wadwo a se wudi epeste kanu a ene tese magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre ahwadi mu pa etisese no kuafo ebenya sika ene anigye awo mabra bomu a na utimi se enya sam keto akora epeste ya mamomo piafo apanifo monfrɛ ahoman na monje nkyiremu ya ehye media 0552 505723 ana plus 160 922 78043 Apex fertilizer booster piao mama fiaduma ayani kapa making farming sexy again Apex operation feed yourself Apex plant your trees and crops. Oh, what you for any asher for and yada obadi asese ayene pe na mene wuminu and yetimi a shiamusi anatrese asidan kuto necessary yadema obadi yada munyina asese abribia munya emre eba ebekan ho na se adwuada du sei na se muhu se screen mu apai na Rev.D and Adjei wo fa na se mesum wo fa na chese munim se enne no ebeye inhira ene enigesam ede ama obi biara ene due wabɔ no homoden aba bekan ho ewo dwumadie so dwumadie din de positivity with Rev.D and Adjei and said yaka no I had to say yaba doctor's office na yaba be prescription na say yaba be hwɛ yempom enti na wɔtwe atwa mu yaba prescription ene so yaba eba beje your prescription enti ene yenim se ene ebeye nhira se erade ya wadom na se oba so ade ameche wa na se bomodin asa oba share video we said ya video no ebeye mfaso ede bema obi eya anane ma papa eboa abrabo anase eboa ye nipadua ene ye bibibia ne se yenim anase ye nsaka mama ye nye selfish na ye nko ye mfasa ade no ye mfa mmoa ye nuanom ne adofo empo omo tan ti sabre de megina twumadie so na me de aseda kase ama obi biara me da obi biara owo Kwamet TV so Facebook YouTube St. John yeda mosibebre Ghanaian Diaspora Network yeda mosibebre yeda obi biara asinti sabre de na ke hit radio ye begina omunyina anemu na yede ama obi biara akwaba ade abadwumadi kase so sans na yebema yesofo Rev.D and Adjei enso akwaba kase ade aba dwumadi so nti Reverend we de na chese ye ma akwaba boa dwumadi yenim se yehun se na serie no base dia na chese yenim se ene no ebe very powerful na dia wo hobia nso ma yenhu na ekire nso bibiara wo ho nso yebema atiefo ne ahwefo nyina nso aso ate dia ye kanyana nso mo share video yi enfama nti Reverend we de meja mu de amount
kwayo we de otumfo nyankopon ansese anyumbe wa ya adom na ya sta share line so migiri se nyame de nkwa chaye na so sa de adom ne dom ye na I share wa line so na it's a privilege say ye beba line so na adofo nso ebese wandaje devi ameka obese won data na o se oba betiu enti me mom de ya na ye manage say people are ready to build a path towards positivity enti nyame o nhira obi bia oba line so na ye se rade nyankopon se na nsuso no oni ebedi nkomo na obehye ye nkran na dwumadie bi otumfo nyankopon de adom ye netimi afofele enti nchia na ede matiefo eni aseda nsuso
Yo, yeah, that's bebree. I think say na what you try mu bebree na yeba betie. Sabre so wa hanom na wo hwɛ sabre wa hanom na se wutia na kyerɛ sɛ minim sɛ ɛyɛ nhyira ɛde ma wo. Megina dwumadie so na mede nkyia kɛseɛ ama yɛnua ba ɛyɛ Margaret Kwachewa saa nso na kɔma ɛyɛ Josephine Champon. Yɛde amaame akua nipa ameya wase saa nso na kɔma ɛyɛ plant plant yɛda ase bebree sɛ abere bia wonya mmerɛ aba abɛka yɛn ho obi biara a wohwɛ yɛn wotie mɛsrɛ sɛ smambɔ wo din abɔ mmɔden a sɛ wode ɛbɛkyɛn anaasɛ sɛ wosɛnde message nko ara ma mehu sɛ wode a ɛneɛ na kyerɛ sɛ mɛbɔ wo din deɛ aka kyerɛ mu nyinaa sɛ mon like na mon share saa video yi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ nhyira because ɛnɛ no ɛyɛ so powerful nti reverend wedeɛ ɛnɛ no wedeɛ yɛba doctor's office webisa yɛbisa yɛbiaa yɛsi yɛba check up nti ɛnɛ
now Sister Joe Nyamisha, I was talking to her and I was saying share positivity. God bless you so much. Balance myself it helps a lot. God bless you. But
fata baby.
Let's go on my phone soon.
God
bless you, God bless you. Yeah. And I was avoid I think that we kakra now. And then my person a better Charles Dixon Kasimbi. And I would want us to just take a reflection on it. But besides, there's this book I'm trying to read over, and I think that there are some definitions be our make here. Me person so. And quote na they will spend some time short one. But before and I think that these definitions ever buoyant as we pursue team positivity.
Okay.
Now a boy might clarify one or two things be yedi kayaka and I say a better to be a free sad definitions yimuna aboy. So I will first of all use maybe like the first half of my discussion and I'm talking on to just read out these definitions on what we mean by positive thinking. So that will be crying new your line is soon at least the person will catch up with the fire and the flow of what we are doing here now. Onipa no any ebe flow. Enti therefore with the moment me kwina me yen share positive thinking what it means now. And today's particular writer, I think that we'll take time to also pick some of the things he says. A big book, and as we go on, Onyama Bibre waka relevant for our discussion. It is a share them TT book nekrana as we treat the quotes, we may be fixing one or two things all relevant for positive thinking. Or say positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. And also positive thinking na all can two particular places you demonstrate positive thinking in our mentality and in our emotions. Number two, some mentality and emotions here me to me boss kakra. Our direction, it has a focus. And the focus is on the bright side of life. As our expectation, the expectation is on positive results. This is very deep, and that is why I thought I was say to your boss and you share such a quote. And titru niyama and nine and I'm a picky free definition more more positive thinking. And number one, I say I am mental. Number two, emotional. So positive thinking, it's not. It's an attitude. A subai, a niebi, a kwanya bi awufa so dan BBAD. It's an attitude. Your demonstration, your practice, what you're showing to the other people. And sometimes in a positive thinking, be a crana the present situation, a negative situation, but positive thinking defines your attitude. You can say somebody's thinking positively. the attitude that what they approach situation, is what defines whether the person is a positive thinker or negative thinker. And to such a positive thinker, or that mental attitude, now he has developed a sense of attitude. Said we see Jennifer. And number two is an emotional attitude. Said na thinker. And it's a summer etuna ni response, the way or feeling. I don't know, because emotions I can't think once. And so it shows not only in your mental capacity, it also shows in your emotional capacity. And obi mentally, the attitude is showing forth, a positive thinker, but the emotions are all done, the thinker all done, wo kura akwa bi na wakunto kwa ondi nkunimuda ana nakrubi o timiko buru bi na nani aje ofrifri sa o say wabomi wani aje onye hwe me mikuru me makra na bomi. And so the emotions has been dampened straight away, and the kind of smiling and the happiness when the nimni in aswati, because there is a word that has dampened his emotion. And you also need the emotional attitude to show that you're a positive thinker. It's not just what is in your mind. As you are thinking positively, it should be demonstrated in your emotions. Say what think your response, say a year na be broken heart be na ba business be na starting na anko ye o yonko be na betray. There are so many scenes of life negative, but what is the emotions that you are showing? What is your emotional attitude when you encounter that kind of situations in your life? And every positive thinker is not just positive in his mentality, is also positive in his emotions. And this is one of the things that I'm a person actually. So this mentality and this emotions, when you first one journey for any thinker would you receive that message, it should have a direction. It focuses on something. And the situation and the positive thinker, the emotional response and focuses on the bright side of life. The mental response, is focusing on the bright side of life. So life, no matter how difficult it is, if you have 24 hours in the day, nasa sema wati in the day nina pokra no bada. Kojo, you have the ability to hear. You still have your ability to hear. It is positive. And tinema akoso ni nina no anya nyama ekoyi negative things throughout the day, but at least there is that bright side of that day, And so the positive thinker, he gives emotional response. The direction of his emotions, is towards the bright side of the life. Anna, positive thinker, and so the mental attitude, it is directed towards the bright side of the day, or towards the positive or the bright side of life. And he has a kind of expectations, because the entire also share the bright side of life. And they say the positive thinker is always expecting positive results. It is a challenge. It is strange. It is difficult that you can handle. But what are your expectations? What are your expectations? He's still expecting something good to come out of it. And so this is what somebody is saying about positive thinking. And I thought that it was good for us to bring it up. Into number one, your mental attitude, your emotional attitude should focus on the bright side of life. Why is it focusing on the bright side of life? Because your expectation is always for positive results. A situation na atomeno, manisem, na still na me share the bright side of life because I have an expectation. Me share say me no dear. The result that should come out of it, should be positive. Then he moves on now, say, positive thinking actually means approaching life's challenges with a positive outlook. But this is why I'm linking on Facebook.
Aye.
Okay, so matrix, yeah, we'll work on it. I say, another definition at the same person, they more positive thinking. Or see, you are approaching life's challenges with a positive outlook. That means that he recognizes that life comes with challenges. Abrabo de nsosheba, abrabo de atataba, but you are approaching it. You are not sitting back because there are challenges. Because there is one thing that I am so happy that God gave us this quotation. I said, but Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, let us go. We want to approach. That it is a challenge. So you approach it. If it is a challenge, it is not there to weaken you or to it is a challenge there, but it is bigger. But in the text, you see a sense of somebody ready to approach. So the person that have a positive mentality, is ready to approach it. There is one wonderful preacher, female preacher, I think Priscilla Sherry or something. Me say name, Or say they we want to see miracles. Maybe I want to talk about miracles, but we don't want to be the ones who will walk around the walls of Jericho for 7 days. Jericho first for 7 days. We want some other person to walk around the walls of Jericho, but they do tell my echo last Sunday, we want to be there to celebrate the breaking of the walls. You need to approach the challenges. Life will come with challenges, but we don't sit. David said, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death. Do you understand what that means? I said, I walk through it. It means that in my life, there are portions in my life that are called the valleys of the shadows of death. Indeed, there are those moments in my life, but I walk through them. I approach them. I don't stop because there are challenges of life. This particular two definitions, it has spoken to me today, and I just want to share it with you. Approach it, walk through it. Challenges are there to be conquered. It does not necessarily mean avoiding or ignoring the bad things. You don't have to avoid them. Approach them. Instead, it involves making the most of the potentially bad situation. So it is a bad situation. You approach it and you make the most out of it. One WhatsApp skit, short movie video. Then there are two different people, and they almost like something that's breakable, like egg. Anna Kano ebo almost aben. The first one in the yamshin na wojan omumienu nyina omuja kosue ne mu. Ba kosue na omuje mu no, ba kono oje mu na ekofom na ne yamshin no na otwen ne ho. The other one on any ban who so say waja kosue ne mu no. What he did is that he tried to pick or to hold 1 or 2 80 by the grace of God out of that 24 single eggs ne wo create him, he could save about 10 of them. But the other one now, whose situation now pushing himself back, now one any approach to the challenge now, Abano, he lost every one of the eggs in the crate. I don't know, Miss him say what for you na me person me chana. So it is a bad situation. But I say it involves making the most of the potentially bad situation. So if you're losing $1,000 and you're able to save $1, it is still something that is credible.
Yeah.
Make the most out of the. I just read this and I just felt the passion to just come and share it with you. Make the most out of it. Make the most out of it. 10x is better than none. The 10 is better than none. Please make the most out of it. Trying to see the best in other people and viewing yourself and your abilities in a positive light. Who the best in other people no nyina no. Now what we want also in a positive light. Say there are so many things I cannot do, but at least there's something that is good within me. And if I focus on that good thing, I can bring positivity out for other people. And these are just two definitions. I just wanted us to rush through it. And I think that it helps our cause. It helps us to put so many things into the right perspective. And I don't know, let me just quickly read through it. Or say, positive thinking is a mental and emotional attitude that focuses on the bright side of life and expects positive results. Say, positive thinking actually means approaching life's challenges with a positive outlook. It does not necessarily mean avoiding or ignoring the bad things. Instead, it involves making the most out of the potentially bad situation. That bad situation is only a potential. It is not bad. It is only about potential. If you sit aloof, it will become better and worse. So it has only the potential of becoming worse. But you make the most out of it. Trying to see the best in other people and viewing yourself and your abilities in a positive light. So, for just a quick quote, my person, said that so there is Charles Dickens, or say, the sun himself is weak when he first rises and gathers strength and courage as the day gets on. 81 TPB, we have gone through the definitions, but this is a particular quote, and then now me person me di jawo. Charles Dickens here, one of the authors, researchers. I think that he was a geologist. He was researching into mountains, into rocks, and into. So he developed the theory of evolution. Now, Charles Dickens. Theory ni say onipa na efri epumu meaning say ya kind sir. So he brought that particular, whether it is true or whether it is not true, but they are proofs to show say onipa na ya free epumu, but the earlier humanity na yete forest muno, they behaved like the animals. And they try to walk that like the animals. And so sometimes the kind of food they were eating in the forest, caused them to behave almost shape near den. Enipa biano say udi agrocha say abrewa ni mukwana sukura poma be kakra no take poma ni shape. And so some of us believe that it is not like say nipa free ape just as he's saying, but human beings had that kind of a shape, because now it's a forest. In those days, now you can't see that. So we behave just like the monkeys, and human beings and that relationship with monkeys. And he developed the theory of evolution. But in his studies, one of the things I was say, the greatest source of light, onipa, this is the source of life. And yet, is the sun. But his research, has proven to him, say, "Sir, owie kurana or shrine shrine instrument or shrine kanye Sir, epia nkete. Kojo ya sama modro. Agriano kasia, and with all the eminence of the sun, all the radiation and the radiance of the sun. Agrianim pokran opia nkete. And I think that he's saying that it's something that we are supposed to learn from as human beings. Obviously, though my beginning may be small, I don't say it, but I say that though my beginning may be humble. I was listening to one of the people Nyamisi Mintie for this Passion Week. I can't say me. I said Jesus was born in the manger. But you read the Bible and realized, say, when the three wise men, if we put it in that, Bible said when they got to the house, so he thinks that Jesus was not in the manger when the three wise men went to visit him. That is his argument. He was born in a manger, but he didn't remain there. And the fact that he was born in a manger doesn't mean that he will spend the eternity of his life in a manger. But I wouldn't want to one I wouldn't want to and I mean I didn't want to. God has never kept you to shine as dim as you are trying to shine. That is not the vision of God. That is not the purpose of God for your life. Just as we learn from so many other things in our lives, you know. If I read this particular quote from Charles, let me GD say, "Chawu sorry anopa." Now say utim so ko jina bonti. We are not appear there, but then you don't even feel the radiation of the sun. But the back akrana no ye demba meboa. No person question ye kra. So if the greatest light on your mebo ye dema according to the book of Genesis in the Quran, if when it is coming out, it comes out. And it's not brightened with all its radiance, then know that there's something within you. Focus on it. Let me go back. That is why I brought this particular definition. Focus on the bright side of life and expect positive results. That good thing now within you, it is shining, it is bright, but there's a lot of darkness around you. When you're able to focus on it, it will begin to shine brighter than it is shining now. And that is how a positively minded person behaves. If we are not learning from nature, then why did God plant us in the midst of nature? Say, bibi enfra body echa yemu ehyiemu a. Na ne no nyame de yebabedua mfimfin kra ye den. Senka onyame pese nko ma wia no de bia nka wia no kan ho ananka wapie o kan ho ananka wapie o kan ho ananka wapie. God could have created it like that. And it is the sun, it doesn't struggle to shine. But sometimes God will use some clouds to cover the brightness of the sun. Say the be obe who say bia na ibo meboa e bi kura na wunya mpie na wakwakofa ai umbrella bi o say na de awia ne bebo pa o eti wo pie no you prepare yourself. And so the world should prepare to see your brightness. Eti nyankopon o ma that bright light so that the entire world will know akwa way there's a bigger light in him. So whether you believe it or not, if you're able to focus on that little bright side of life, there is a bigger light within you. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. We have been planted here to make impact. Nyame de yeba asase we so say, yebra benya nsusanso papa wa asase we so. Nyame de yeba asase we so, ode ma nipa bia dua ye mu say, enipa ne mra meda ne ho adi na enhyire ma afoforo nya so mfaso. But there's nothing in you ever shine so bright from the beginning. It doesn't happen like that. Life is a process. The shining of your life will go through process. The shining of your giftings will go through process. The shining of your ministry will go through process. The shining of your financial breakthrough will go through process. The shining of your academic exploits will go through process. There's a bright side of your life. But if the sun itself takes time to shine and gather the strength and the courage by day, just as Charles Dickens is saying, you also should learn to gather the strength and the courage as the day goes by. Gather it. Gather it. Gather it. You are the sun. You are the sun of this earth. But if Jesus Christ himself started shining from a manger, and son now kodrua samre passing wiki ye nipa bebre na ebeka yesu ho asemeboa. He went through it. He went through the passion. He went through the crucifixion. But see what happened on the resurrection morning. Ne binu mujeni so da so da friends the tomb ni meboa. But when they went, the glory had become bigger. I want to encourage you. And I want to tell you, I want to just let you know that you need only to focus on the bright side of life. And that is who a positive thinker does. You need a mentality and the emotional response, that has a direction. It has a direction. It's a direction. It's say, onipa bia no kwajo se wugina ho a na wachi no. So many blind things. You don't see what is happening in your. But as long as you have a back, what's that when you have a part of your life that you can see. So if there are so many things that are happening behind you, you are not supposed to focus on those things, At least there's a path ahead of you that at least you can see, if nothing at all, no. So you have 4 cardinal points, If you're not seeing your left side, if you're not seeing your right side, if you're not seeing backward, at least there's 1 point of that 4 cardinal points that is still giving you a light. That will take you forward in your life. Focus on that one and begin to shine. Begin to shine. You may have devices, you may even have support. People that will even tell you what is happening to you at your back. And with time, as you focus on going forward, you will start to have control over the things that are happening around you. You start to have control over the things that are happening around you. In the midst of the struggle, in the midst of the darkness, Say yakoda najo, na se sumuba, na so wiane ba. Wiane ba. Also when it first rises and it gathers the strength and the courage as the day gets on. The strength is always there. The courage is always there. You are not looking for it. Because you are focused on the darkness, you are focused on the pain, who focus on the negative, It's when your courage now. So even if I have a sense of strength to give to you, may the man wa now dekoye. Again now dekoye. And I'm answering me about kope. And it's just a quote from one of the renowned writers. Or say, the sun himself is weak when he first rises, and gathers strength and courage as the day gets on. I want it to be said about me that Daniel was weak when he first rose, but he gathered the strength and the courage as life moves on. My person's way your story. So when you began, things were not working as you expected to work. And even in life gives us a lot of lessons to learn from. Also, we are not even allowed to drive. We are not allowed to do so many things. But we expect that as your life moves on, you'll be gathering a lot of strength, a lot of courage in order to be able to do other things. And so you are not down. You are only beginning the process. And the beginning is always weaker. The end justifies the means. Please, Miss Rao, be the sun that you are. Don't be just an ordinary moon. Be a sun. Because that is who you are. And so the fact that at this present time, you are not able to shine as bright as you want, doesn't mean that the courage and the strength is not there. Look for it, find it. But you can only find the courage, you can only find the strength when you focus on the bright side of life and make the decision to expect positive results. As we go through this Passion Week, that in any area of our lives that we are not shining as bright as we want to shine, God will give us the grace to find the courage, will give us the grace to find the strength, so that as the days go by, you begin to shine just as the sun as you are. Amen.
Amen. Yadas bebre sabre meden chia kasia bema eye obi biara sabre o question or commenter obetimi asende ede aba any message bia ebia some message of encouragement bibia de ba be share reverend in crying sadia de bia obeba anasa oba nimdeɛ ne bɛyɛ kɛseɛ na ɛbɛyɛ nhyira de ɛbɛma but nhyira kɛseɛ ma ɛyɛ me nuaba Alberta Asare saa nso na ɛkɔma ɛyɛ adwoa yɛboa me nuaba ma Richard Osei yɛda ase bebree sɛ abere biara woba ɛbɛ support ɛyɛ dwumadie yɛda ase bebree saa nso na ɛkɔma adwoa onu no yɛda mo ase bebree ɛkɔma me ankasa mase me wɔfa baako pɛ ɛyɛ Eric owusu afiri yɛda ase bebree anka sɛ ɛnɛ wanya emre na waba abɛka yɛn ho all the way from France yɛda ase bebree saa nso na yɛde aseda kɛseɛ nso ɛma me nuaba Margaret Kwachiwa woyɛ number one yɛda ase bebree saa bere yi Reverend Akasa ne kasa nyinaa kyerɛ sɛ ɛsɛ yɛ focus on the positive side of biara na yɛgyae ɛyɛ negative nneɛma no nyinaa na yɛde ɛto hɔ nom nti saa bere sɛ wowɔ question bi anaasɛ wowɔ message bi a wobɛtumi de aba yɛnim sɛ saa bere obi biara se God bless you Reverend God bless you Reverend amen kyerɛ sɛ blessings ne deɛ da biara yɛde ɛma sɛdeɛ yɛba adwuada bi a yɛ prescription no ɛmu bɛyɛ du ɛnɛ sɛ ɛyɛ take paa yɛmu bi wɔ hɔ noma bi a ɛsɛ yɛdaalutu no kakra na yɛsoko no kakra yɛda ase bebree na Reverend adeɛ baako a I think sɛ wokɔɔtu no adeɛ baako a wokaeɛ about the sun a m'ani gye ho no sɛ ɛnyɛ prɛko pɛ na awia no bɔ ɛyɛ gradual process nti I think sɛ ɛsɛ yɛtumi sua biribi kɛseɛ ɛfiri ho submission bi da w'anim biribi da w'anim a wopɛ sɛ woyɛ a never think sɛ ɛnɛ ne ɔkyena yɛ a woyɛ yɛ a ebi a ɛbɛyɛ yie but wo deɛ sɛ anyɛ yie koraa mimi hu ne sɛ don't give up and I Reverend meboa saa na kyerɛ saa sɛ don't give up keep pushing now the more now we push you will see the brighter side I think say and the message message kasiye edema me ankasa ntimi da so be den chia kasiye so ma Hetty from Pond thanks so much say and anywhere so when you emre rawa be kan so abre misrew say o was na say o message me na say o question bi a obetimi dia ba I think say and the message direct direct niam bi a yetwetwe adwen bi sisi so na atwe akwa akire ni yem focus on the positive side na eno no ebeboa yen ti sabre the Reverend I don't think some person may have me who may be some question because we can't be question be a question and because the way you are not that way you are not that anti master say you bet me build yourself mentally and emotionally towards the positive side and yet towards the negative side at ten be an answer yena yera ho ehun bi ni nema nema bi echi enti sabredi atiefo ne ahwefo se bibi biara ni ho no ma mo beka and as a money question be biara na ye kyerem so I think say anumre ya Reverend ebi owo dwumadie bebre na Reverend I think say owo bibi ewo ho no ma ebi a ansana ebi ebe endi bibi na say we no owo any other message bi a wo pese ahwefo any atiefo ehu it can be ebi a program be a upcoming event be a eba any nema sa sadia nkrofo betimi be join o na omonso dwumadie no etimi aye inhyira ede ama because abre de ametimi a kire say offense no efso offense no oh yeah me nada emu edupa ntino eduba bia na wakire kwan kakra sadia nkrofo nso betimi be follow mesre bebre obi biara o platform yi so won follow Reverend ewo Facebook obi biara momodin asa ko follow no so Facebook bomodin asa ko follow no nti Reverend mpacho ebia edin ben na ewo u Facebook account so sadia
Daniel Intim
mpacho eden
Daniel Intim Adjei
okay Daniel Intim Adjei Reverend ni honti Daniel Intim Adjei ti yeba share baby obi biara numbers na egu ha ni nyina no obi ankonko follow no ewo anase onko friend no ewo Facebook now hopefully yeah hwese erade be adum so a yeah de another way but beba be can you streaming said yeah everything be reach out to other people enti sabre make fan say obi biara wo a clubhouse so ye be hwe say ye be boy homodin ebia from next week you know ye be create positivity room our clubhouse said ya mo betimi ebeba mo clubhouse so no so mo betimi betie yen e be free air clubhouse nti ya da masse bebre say abrebia no munya emre eba ebe kan ho nti reverend sabre de meje mama I think say na medimate ni
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah,
And
that was the last week. Can I make us a father's impacted do so?
yeah.
It was a good. The attendance was wonderful. And
Okay.
the show was same time, so it's like every last Friday of the month. So this month to be around 30th of April. The emperor say month we have father's impact na yaba be bompa na yasre rade nyankopon nem. Enti Eastern time 11 p.m. and I had time no it's like 9 p.m. But Ghana for no na just almost oriented because 9 p.m. Eastern time no yeah 3 a.m. Saturday and but a lot of my sons and daughters came from Ghana. It was a wonderful time. Mrs. Sister Josephine was on it, and I think that we had a good time. And next this month here you factory baby say on the 30th, no, there's a 3-hour prayer time. You want to just come and meet us and we'll pray together. Now, you say Enra a Palm Sunday. Enra when you are banquet waiting, Sako. We have entered into the season of Passion. Now, Passion Week is one of the very important weeks in the life of the church. And if we have a lot of activities there. And specifically, want to talk about the Numere Revival, 6:30 p.m. Maybe we are hoping to be in our COVID time, a Zoom line, no, and a Numere program. No. Zoom line, no, I think it's on it. So join us. Let us have this wonderful Passion Week. We've invited Onyame song for Antichristi is a wonderful preacher. If you come to the assistant prayer line, so you have met her severally. She preaches. She so I'm waiting for her coming into Mr. Just as I'm so eager, and so I had a dream about this program, and I'm hoping say nyamini mbutaye binti a wade na maye na watri. So I would encourage say anopa 6 a.m. MDT, that would be like 8 a.m. Eastern, and now a Numere Revival no will be 6:30 on the Zoom line. Please let us join, let us come to be a blessing, let us come to receive blessing. When you are nothing anymore, now man adom nyakasi amaye. Amen.
Amen, amen. Yeah, that's me brain. Ti sabre message say me share flyer yi e wo me page so said ya obi biara e bia pa information bia on sa ebetimi e be kasa so na wo reverend page Daniel N Adjei.
Yeah, Daniel Intim Adjei.
Daniel Intim Adjei
Yeah.
page our Facebook and also back na at the honum inti any information bibiara we hear about program no on sa ebeka yada eye obi biara asese onya emre eba beka ye ho de ka nyina ne se erade enhira no ti sabre meyi flyer no afiso emra ye de dwumade no ebeba awieye no yada obi biara ase se enanyumra onya amre ebeka ye ho sa so na yes erade enhira edema eye obi biara adofo ene atamfo nyinaa yɛsrɛ nhyira ne biribi biara de ɛma mo sɛ deɛ ɔmo yɛ biara no nkɔ so yie ɛmfa ɛma mo yɛda obi biara ase dwumadie yi ebia na wobɛka yɛn ho nkyɛ ɛyɛ positivity with Rev.D and Adjei ɛyɛ prescription bi a yɛbɛfa no ɛyɛ adwuada biara nti mɛsrɛ sɛ ɛnɛ ebia no wamma ntɛm deɛ ameka nyinaa ne sɛ bɔ mmɔden sɛ wobɛkɔ ɛyɛ YouTube na wobɛkɔ akɔ search for Kwamet TV recordings no ebewo honum other programs away nyina ewo honom ubetimi akwa na etimi aye insha ediama yeda mo am logging on ewo YouTube nyina yeda mo nyina ase ena numbers no course so sans na Facebook yeda masibe brain ti sabrede na yeda asada kase bema aye yaboafo aye ketie mobile almost like keeping technology affordable sans na ekoma aye Apex 10 almost making farming sexy again. And to Reverend Wade, not just said, yes, Radiama Wina, and said, Radi Inshaw, na on your dome, na Inshan, and your Cassiane Binson can air of Mammy, any Abusia Foyina, a Denver Foyina, Radi Insha, Obibiara, Obibiara, better Jumadia China, Radi Insha, Obibiara, Sabre, yes, a commercial, see, as a monte, Reverend in Campiuma. Nanya natural say onimo AD and cranessa. Nana what you send ye besign a shiamubio, ye best say obaswa, like na yen tongue, sharing yen tongue, into yes ramo ayana must share at the support to Jumadian. Namobanso and more bisa questions. And also let me my Reverend Vim. Na etimi abwa ama or babia not just say who say the whole issue is with all these programs, it's an interaction a body away program. A man that vim no money feels oh dear all year no in for any jihon intimacy baby and sometimes no question our baby son a bit more solve will be so problem at the amano. It is sometimes no you shouldn't say yeah maybe problem and son may be some question. You be a force would be a bit to be now pay my program the best successful be the best say more money answer but the other massive brain said the be a mutai changes. I braid you not just say sir commercials this seen as a man take a year Rev.D and Adjei. And I mean, can be one, not just and now what you say, your best sign a share will be a message Thursday, yeah, by Monia Crado, na Moon Shabby, Medas Baby.
I wanna share with you, and you can share with me. Come, let's share together. Oh, KTA Mobile, KTA Mobile. Technology worth sharing.
It's the future.
Ghana fue yedie na bayo yedie na bay Apex 10 fertilizer booster purely organic efrasa simu ene de massase no obade ensa no pe na menu akayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya ade aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya sosaso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye dekora tie kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa ede afra na de ma Apex 10 edan so kra ne se enema no wadua na ewuwo na flowers ne aduaba na etiti godo agya wadwo a se wudi Apex 10 kanu a ene tese magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre ahwadi mu pa etise se no kwiafo ebenya sika ene anigye awo mabrabo mu a na utimi se enya sam keto akra Apex 10 e amamo piafo apanifo monfrɛ ahoman na monje nkyiremu ya ehye medie 0552 505723 ana +160 922 78043 Apex 10 fertilizer booster piao mama fiadwuma ayani kapa
Making farming sexy again. Apex 10, Apex 10.